Hi, I'm Katie.
And I'm Koli.
Welcome to the SVU Coven podcast, Little Witch Detectives.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
We're back.
We're back.
I feel like because we take breaks in between kind of
Uh,
with recording. I feel like we need a jingle that's like, and we're back, and we're back, and we're back. But we're back.
we are.
That's so fun. Do you want to just jump into our witch talk?
Sure.
All right, cool. So this is our witch talk. It's the corner of the intro of our show where we fill you guys in on what we've been up to. I always laugh because it's a little redundant since Koli and I pretty much talk every day. But it's a cool way for us to connect with you guys. So it wouldn't be me if I had something prepared, would it?
No.
Um, I have roaches in my apartment that have taken over my life. So stressed about that and dealing with that. We bombed for them. I don't know if I talked about this on the show before or not, but
I don't know.
yeah, we fogged for the roaches. Pest control came in, did all of that, stressed my pets out and me and my brother who's my roommate, and it didn't work. So I'm dealing with that this week and today. So that's stressful a little bit. But other than that, I'm still looking for a job, still applying, doing interviews, freelancing, all of that stuff. That's the main thing going on in my life these days. Hanging out with my boyfriend. He's pretty cool.
Yay.
Yeah, still dating him. I like him a lot. And this week I went to see one of my favorite artists, Zella
Uh-huh.
Day, in concert. And I don't know if you saw on Instagram, but I got this. We were like up at the front because it was a really tiny venue and we got there early. So my friend Sabrina and I, you guys might remember her. She's done some spells for us and stuff in the past, but we got all the way up to the front. So I was able to get like a really good photo of her and I
Mhm.
posted it on my Instagram, as I do, not even thinking about it. And she saw it and she loved it, reposted it on her story, liked it, all that stuff. And then I got a DM from somebody saying they wanted to make it like the cover of a Spotify playlist that she's featured in. And
Oh, that's awesome.
right? I was like, that's so cool because this was an artist I followed for about 10 years and I haven't seen her live since she headlined Music Midtown when I was in college. So, it was just like all around this cool thing. And she didn't like talk to me or say anything. She just reposted and liked it, but it was still kind of like, oh, that's so neat that like she liked my photography,
Yeah. That's
Um,
really awesome.
yeah, and it was also like this I love an intimate show like that where it's
Mhm.
kind of a small crowd so you can feel more one-on-one with the performers. Um, so that was a really cool thing. It like made my week.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's about it with me. What's going on with you?
Um, Not a whole lot. Working a lot on the golf course. Um,
Yeah.
this coming week, Tuesday, which is tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, my grandfather is gonna be gone for like 7 hours. So I have to watch the shop and
Yeah.
lock up and all that stuff. But it means more money for me in my paycheck.
Mm.
Um, I got my Lesapalooza tickets.
I
Yay!
kind of want to go, to be honest. But
If you want to go, you need to act fast because over half the tickets are sold right now.
I believe that.
Yeah,
It just last year when you went, it looked like so much fun.
it is so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing is, like, if you did go, we wouldn't be able to, like, room together
Mm.
because the cabin that I'm in is already sold out.
That's all good. We'll talk about
Yeah.
it later.
Yes. um, what
So,
else is going on? I went to Lunar Fair
oh
on
yeah,
Saturday.
we
That
haven't even
was
talked about
fun.
that.
No, we haven't.
How was it?
It was so much fun. Um, I didn't really like do much walking around because I wasn't steady on my feet and it was at the fairgrounds.
Mhm.
So it was like not the best time for me to be walking around.
I gotcha.
But I went because my one best friend, my sister, um, proposed to her wife because they're doing a vow renewal
Mhm.
and they want to have the wedding that they always wanted that they didn't get the first time.
So cute.
Yeah.
And during Pride.
And during Pride, it was amazing.
I love that so much. When you
Yeah.
told me they were doing that, I was like, oh, you so have to go because you love
Yeah,
fair.
I
And
do.
I was like, oh my God, it's so cute. I love
And
love.
I got a button from Sussex County Pride and it's Ouija board planchette
Yeah,
and
that's
it
cute.
says she they underneath it. So it has like my pronouns on it and it's just really cool.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
I love all the pride stuff going on despite how the world is right now
Yeah.
or this country in general. I'm going to a pride festival next weekend
Mhm.
with Sassy in Nashville and the tickets were only $6. Can you
That's
believe?
not bad.
Right. And then Fitz and the Tantrums is headlining. So it's a music festival all day. And Fitz is like, I've seen them before. They're not one of my favorite bands, but I love them. And to
Mhm.
see them for $6, are you kidding? Like last time I saw them, we probably spent $100 on the tickets.
Wow.
So crazy. I love that like we're still doing pride stuff, but I am like kind of nervous, like safety wise.
Yeah.
Um But I love that, they were able to do that proposal at Lunar Fair and everything,
Yeah.
and everything went well.
Yes.
Pride.
Yes.
Yay.
So that's all that's going on with me.
Yeah, fun.
So the next thing on our agenda, Mariska is in Rome currently.
It's our Mariska update corner.
Yes,
She
Mariska's
is
in
in
Rome currently with Peter, and I'm assuming her kids.
yeah. Did you
Um,
see her selfie with Peter she took? And it was like from the downest
it
angle.
was, yeah,
I was like, ma'am.
I saw that and I was like, that's not a good angle for anybody.
I was like, both of you gorgeous human beings, but that's not your angle.
No.
I love that she's occasionally an old person. They look like they're having fun.
Yeah.
I've never been out of the country before, so I love seeing people traveling and stuff. I love that kind of update.
Yeah, I haven't been out of the country before either.
Yeah, that
But it's so much fun to see people traveling the world.
mhm. Especially in this like post-COVID era that we're still in, even though
Yeah,
we're still in the COVID era, but what
yeah.
you know
But,
what I mean?
according to the government, we're in the post-COVID era.
Yeah. Um, is she doing anything particular in Rome or is she just vacationing?
I think she's just vacationing.
Good for her.
It's her summer vacation that she goes on every year.
Yeah, I think last year was when she did that video with all the flowers and she was like she was on vacation somewhere with Peter, I think, and she was like, "Look at the flowers."
They were in London.
And it was so cute. I was like, "Oh my gosh. Precious." Well, speaking of Mariska, you put this little note here about her having a crystal tower.
Yes.
And if you guys aren't familiar, Koli and I track every time Mariska does something witchy, and we're like, witch!
Which
Oh man, it's like when she had the tarot necklaces, and we were like, oh my God. I love her.
Or like when she was directing King of the Moon and was in her posting the moon era, like everything she posted on Instagram had to be the moon. And it was like,
Which she is. She is.
Yeah.
There's no getting around it. She just is.
Yeah.
I actually haven't seen the pictures of, or did we talk about the Crystal Tower?
I don't think we talked about it in depth. It was on her story. It's,
Yeah.
I think, a clear quartz tower.
Mhm.
And like she was holding it in her hand and like turning it around and stuff.
Yeah. So like for reference, I have a little tower. This is what is it? Citrine, like a tiny tower. Can you see it? I can't see myself.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's what for our visual listeners, that's kind of what they look like. But can be bigger than this. I just have a
Yeah.
video. We love crystals.
Yes.
And Mariska.
Yes. Very much so.
Oh, shall we continue on then?
Yes. So SAG-AFTRA, which is like the writers union, not the writers union. That's the Writers Guild. SAG-AFTRA is like the actors union.
Mhm.
Voted 97.91% to authorize a strike uh if the AMPTP don't give a fair deal. And the AMPTP is the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers. So we're waiting to hear about what that's gonna be. If they're
Mhm.
gonna go on strike or not.
That's about where we are, right?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I've been trying to follow it closely without stressing too hard, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But
And apparently, the Directors Guild of America got a deal with AMPTP, that they accepted, I believe. Um, and the Writers Guild, from what I understand, is not happy about that. But back in 2007, 2008, when the Writers Guild was on strike, they got the writers back through the Directors Guild.
okay,
So that's not happening this time around.
makes sense.
Yeah.
F.
Yeah.
Well, should we talk about some good news?
Yes.
Kelly Kiddish is pregnant.
Yay.
And I knew it. I freaking knew it.
I had my suspicions, but I couldn't find anything online, so I was like, maybe it's just me being crazy.
Well, also like she just looks pregnant when she was in spoilers OC.
Yeah.
And I believe they're saying she's pregnant in the show as well.
Yes.
But I couldn't figure out if it was like just, you know, a releasey thing or if she was pregnant in real life and they're writing it in because they wanted to have her guest star on OC.
Yeah.
But I just had a feeling like she's got that glow. Like she's just so pretty. And I also love when women that are a little bit older get pregnant. Because I think that's incredible for her, you know?
Yeah.
Uh,
Definitely.
and it's a theme kind of going on in pop culture right now because Kourtney Kardashian just announced that she's pregnant.
Yes.
And we love to see it. We love to see older moms.
Yes.
So cool.
Yes. Very much so.
Wait for Kelly. Come on the podcast.
Yes, Kelly,
My little
please.
Georgia Peach homie.
We'd
So
love to have you on, Kelly.
we love you.
So in frustrating news, there is an uptick in is Mariska Hargitay gay articles that I've seen on my Mariska Hargitay and SVU Google alerts.
Mhm.
this isn't the first time I've seen it. This is
She's not though. She's not
she's
queer.
not to
Yeah.
my knowledge.
As much as I would like it if she I'm bitter because I wanted Olivia and Alex to end up together.
Yeah.
But do you think this has to do with it being like Pride Month, maybe?
I don't know. Because back when I was in high school, um, all the tabloids would run articles of gay celebrities in Hollywood and have Mariska's picture. And it's like, it was like year round. So I don't know if it has something to do with Pride Month. It could. But it's frustrating.
As far as I know, Mariska's an amazing ally, but
Yes.
it stops about there, I
Yeah.
think.
That's as much as anybody knows.
Yeah, and I mean, I respect her privacy too. So if she is part of the rainbow, that's cool. But she's married to Peter and they're really happy. And it gives me the same energy as like people that ship Krishka.
Yeah.
Leave her alone. Let Mariska live her life. I don't know.
And then of course there was rumors a while back that Peter was gay and Mariska was his beard. And yeah, it's like just let people live.
Let them live. They're so happy. They're like ridiculously happy.
Yeah.
And I'm tired of people being mean to them because they don't deserve it.
Yeah. This is a Petska household.
Yeah.
So like not even sorry about it.
Not even sorry about it. And we talk about it too in the Maloney of It All episode.
Yeah.
Getting into the Krishka stuff and everything.
Yeah.
Let people live. Let them be happy. Stop assuming things.
Yep.
All right. So, shall we get into some business stuff?
Yes.
Okay. So this is my little social media plug for you little witch detectives. We are on Instagram at SVU Coven. We post most of our updates there primarily in our stories and our posts, everything like that. So if you're on social media and want to follow us, Instagram is probably the best way to connect. However, we also have a free Discord server that I'm super excited about. I finally beefed it up, you guys. I've been talking about it for a year and I finally did it and it's super cute now and we have all this stuff going on in there. And I would love to grow the Coven there. So if you're already following us on Instagram, you can click the link in our bio to hop onto our Discord there. However, if you don't have Instagram, you can always reach out to us via email at svucoven@gmail.com. Koli does check the email regularly. So somebody is reading them and sharing them with me as well, and we can shoot you a Discord link over there. If social media is not a medium that speaks to you, you can always email us anyway. We love to hear from you guys. And if you want to be on the show, sponsor the show, want to partner with us, anything like that, email is the best way to do it as well. So we can have a chain of conversation going over there. So we would love to grow the Coven in any way possible. So if you guys want to go on the ride with us, that's how to do it.
Yes. And this is your episodic reminder to rate, review, and subscribe or follow. Rating and subscribing are the two most important things. They tell the algorithm that you like us and they will recommend us to other people. Reviewing is just really nice because we lost all our reviews when we switched podcast hosts. I didn't have the chance to check to see if we have more reviews on Apple. Let me see.
We've been holding steady at 1 for a while.
We're still holding steady at 1. But it's a lot of it. It's just really nice.
Yeah, and we'll read the reviews out on the show.
Yeah, we'll read the reviews out on the show. We appreciate the energy exchange. We also have a coffee, so you can go and buy us a coffee, leave a tip of like $1, $3, $5, however much you want.
And all of that goes back into the show as well.
Yes, all of that goes right back into the show. And we're now on YouTube. So, make sure you like and subscribe on YouTube, comment on YouTube. It really helps. Especially the subscribing, because we're working on monetizing this on YouTube, and you have to have a certain amount of subscribers and a certain amount of watch time. So, yeah.
Smash that subscribe button.
Consensually.
Consensually smash it.
Yes.
It's so crazy that we're on YouTube now.
I know.
I credit that a lot because what made me really want to do it was my boyfriend was like, "Oh my God, you guys should have visuals and stuff because people that aren't on audio podcasts can watch it." And I hadn't even thought about that from like a disability standpoint or anything. So it's cool that we're here now.
Yay.
All right.
Okay. Self-love affirmation time.
Ah, yes.
This self-love affirmation is from Mantra, not sponsored, but would love to be. So it's like a powerful magnet. I attract all my desires in great abundance. Take a second if you're not driving, close your eyes and meditate on that. If you are driving or otherwise operating heavy machinery, please keep your eyes open. Please remember to breathe, whether your eyes are closed or open. Breathing is necessary to sustain life.
Ah, yes.
And we would really appreciate you all sticking around with us.
I really like this one because I think it's what I needed to hear this morning. So I like that.
Yeah.
So before we jump into the episode, I forgot something.
What?
We have merch.
Yes, we have merch.
We have merch. So the link is in our Instagram bio. It's somewhere in Discord. Will probably be in the podcast notes. The merch is so cute. Koli and I worked so hard on the designs. And we like Fourth Wall a lot. Not sponsored technically, but I have a Fourth Wall hoodie for one of my friends' Twitch channels, and it's the comfiest thing I own. So go get them if you have the means to do so. We would love to see like pictures of you guys in the merch and stuff.
Yeah, I'm getting my merch when I get paid next.
Nice. Yeah, we have to buy our own merch.
Yeah.
But it's all good. I'm excited and okay, yeah, that's all.
Yes. Okay. Summary time. The
Wahoo.
kidnapping of an infant in a grocery store leads to a scheme of snatching and selling babies for adoption, which brings back a case from 12 years ago that involved Captain Cragen and his partner, the late Max McGreevy. McGreevy, yeah. Okay, I read that right.
Words.
So we open to a mom in a grocery store looking for baby formula. She leaves the cart by the end cap with her baby in the car seat. She gets 3 cans of baby formula and runs back to the cart, seeing her baby is gone. Baby's name is Emma. Uniformed officer describes the infant to Ellie and Olivia, including the outfit she was last seen in, which is common in missing kids cases. That's why they'll often tell parents to take pictures of their kid before they go out. So A, they have the most recent picture, and B, they have a picture of what they were wearing.
That's smart.
Yeah. Another officer says that other officers found something in the motor vehicles office down the street. Ellie and Olivia walk into the bathroom at the motor vehicles office, and they're shown baby clothes, sedative and capsules, and an eyedropper, and a cut off ponytail belonging to Emma. And then we done.
And then we done. I was gonna go like this, but I have sleeve.
You're gonna go like what?
I was gonna show my dun tattoo, but I have
Oh,
a sleeve.
I have done.
So cute.
Back at the grocery store, Ellie and Olivia are questioning Emma's mom, Michelle, about whether someone was following her, paying close attention to Emma. Michelle's husband, Troy, shows up to comfort her and ask how it happened. Elliot pulls Troy aside and talks to him, coming to the conclusion that Michelle is likely suffering from postpartum depression. Cragen arrives and asks if they think Michelle did it. Ellen and Olivia say they can't rule it out. Cragen brought the mobile command center so that they can work the case from the grocery store. Cragen has Elliot talk to Michelle again to see if she knew anything. Elliot talks to Michelle, who simultaneously wants her baby back but is at the end of her rope. Cragen gives orders. Munch and Finn review security footage with grocery store security and have solid evidence that it wasn't Michelle. But they can't see the perpetrator's face, so they look for another angle. The exits. They get a clear shot of a woman with a suitcase. It's possible Emma had already been doped up because she was presumably in the suitcase. And as Finn points out, she would be crying if she was in the suitcase. But if she was doped up, she wouldn't know it.
Right.
So, Olivia, Munch, and Finn talk about what they found in the security tapes. Cragen tells Munch and Finn to go back to the woman whose credit cards were used, Susan Young.
Oomph.
Oomph.
There's no E this time.
There's no E. It's just oomph.
Oomph. I think we should put that on merch, like oomph.
Yeah, we should.
Silly.
Munch and Finn talk to Susan, who says her purse was stolen and that she made a report with the precinct. Her purse was stolen from the substance abuse center where she works. She identifies the woman with the suitcase as Alicia, says she saw her a couple hours ago, she doesn't take the sedative that was given to Emma, but she could have gotten it from someone else at the clinic. Ellie and Olivia go to Alicia's apartment. They search and find out she's using again and find a large stack of money. A couple $1,000. Alicia comes home, sees Ellie and Olivia, and runs down the stairs. Ellie and Olivia catch up to her, and Elliot grabs her arm and asks where the baby is. She says her baby died. Olivia asks where the baby she stole from the grocery store was. Alicia admitted she sold the baby to a lawyer because she promised her baby to him. So Emma sold Emma to Mark Sanford.
Can you imagine just stealing a baby from the grocery store?
Right?
Like, who does that?
A lot of people, actually.
I know. I just like I can't even imagine it from any side of the situation. From the babies, from the parents, from the stealer. Like, I can't. My brain just. I hate it.
Yeah.
I'm just going to get my groceries and I'm gonna snag this baby real quick. Like, no.
Yeah. Ellie and Olivia go with ESU to Mark Sanford's offices. At least at this point, I was assuming it was his office. And hear babies crying. They find the nanny, who I'm assuming was the nanny. Sanford hired with about 6 cribs, and they find Emma. They arrest the nanny for kidnapping. Elliot, Olivia, and Cragen talk about what they found at the building. 3 babies, including Emma, all of them healthy. Building lease to Adoptions Incorporated. Lease signed by Mark Sanford. Michelle and Troy come to the hospital to take Emma home. Troy tells Ellie and Olivia that Michelle is going to see a doctor. The nanny is actually a nurse hired to watch the babies. The only thing she would give up was that she was the babysitter. Cragen gets NCMEC involved, which is the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, to see if they can identify the other 2 babies. Munch and Finn interrogate the nurse. The nurse gives up Sanford's location. His office is in Kew Gardens. Munch and Finn arrest Mark Sanford and interrogate him. He says he never knowingly put a stolen child up for adoption. Said he had no reason to believe that Alicia Brown's baby wasn't hers. And the $10,000 was reimbursement for costs incurred during pregnancy. And Sanford gets a quote-unquote modest fee for his services from the adoptive families of $20,000.
And $20,000 in early 2000s money.
Yeah.
So, like, damn.
Yeah. I love how it's described as a modest fee.
Modest. You know how much $20,000 would change my life?
Seriously.
Like,
yeah.
It's fine.
Cragen talks to Alex, who says that unless he knew that what Alicia was going to do, kidnapping was a stretch, but they can hold him on the kidnapping charge for 6 days. So they need to find evidence before that. Munch, Finn, and Cragen going through Sanford's website and ledgers, and they find the entry for Stephen Talmadge, who Munch and Finn have never heard of. Cragen leaves and goes to a diner. Wait a minute. Oh, he goes to the diner with Munch. Cragen takes Munch out to dinner and tells him the story of Jennifer Talmadge, who was killed in her apartment, and her 4-week-old son, Stephen, was missing. Cragen's sergeant at the time, McGreevy, caught the case and worked it as if his own kid was missing until he was killed 2 years later on the job.
I love Cragen and Munch scenes because I feel like we don't get enough of them.
I know.
I love that they're like little besties, little old man besties.
Little old man besties.
Like I miss Bells.
Me too.
Sad.
Yeah. Cragen explains that this is more about more than Stephen. It's about Jennifer's parents, asks Munch for his help. Cragen goes to see Jennifer's parents and tells them there's a lead. Cragen and Alex go to Rikers to see Sanford, and Cragen demands to know where Stephen is. Says once he connects Sanford to the Talmadge cases, he's going to nail his ass to the wall. And we have a spell break.
A spell break.
Okay. So this is going up the same day we're recording, June 19th, which is also Juneteenth. The color of the day is gray. The incense of the day is neroli. And the spell of the day is a Juneteenth affirmation for compassion. On Juneteenth, in the United States, we commemorate the emancipation of African American slaves. Today, spread compassion by word and deed. There is still much pain and suffering in the world. Participate in a community service project or make a donation to charity today. Do what you love, what you can to spread compassion and love. Light a candle today for the sorrow of the past and present and for hope for the future. Chant these words over the candle. May the light from this flame fill the world with compassion. May understanding and love inspire all of our actions. Allow the candle to burn out. And that's by Ember Grant.
I like that.
And for that one, I would use a white candle because they didn't specify a color. So I would use a white candle. But that's just me.
Well, yeah, because the white candle white absorbs everything.
Yeah.
So intentionally, it can be used for any kind of spell.
Yes.
Thank you for that.
No problem. And we're back to the episode. Munch went through all of the old sergeant's notes and ran fingerprints. Nothing came up. Cragen hands Munch a notebook of McGreary's. I put of Sanford's because I forgot his name was Mark and not Max. But Cragen says it's Max's. So, of McGreary's. McGreavy's. What am I saying?
Words.
I don't know what I'm saying anymore. It says he's been on this for 12 years and he wants some closure. Cragen talks to Elliot, Olivia, and Finn about where they are. Doesn't seem like Sanford's adopted any other stolen babies, but his scam is triple dipping. He gets the full finder's fee out of $30,000 from each family, then tells two that the birth mother backed out. Cragen hands off a stack of files to Elliot, says it'll take 3 people to go through them all.
I read that as stack of flies. And I was like, what?
Did I put stack of? No, I put stack of files.
You put,
okay.
My brain just wanted to read it that way, I guess.
I just wanted to make sure I didn't put stack of flies because that would have been hysterical. Munch and Cragen go talk to Jennifer's college roommate. She dated one guy while they roomed together, Robert Cook, who has to be Steven's father. She sent him a letter letting him know she was pregnant. Munch and Cragen go to Cook and ask him if him and his older son can come with them, as they have reason to believe his oldest son may be Steven. Munch and Cragen interrogate Cook, who says he can prove his oldest son is his with his ex-wife. Cragen says he'll need DNA from all 3 of them. Warner takes all DNA from all 3 of them, and the mom is very bitchy about it.
Yeah.
She's like, make it quick, and it's like, it's a buccal swab. It's not gonna like take 5 hours. It's a simple swab in your mouth. It takes 2 seconds.
Yep.
The mitochondrial DNA of the son matches the ex-wife, and so he's not Steven.
Dun dun.
Finn finds the adoption papers for Steven, signed by Jennifer. Munch and Cragen go to see Jennifer's parents, who say Jennifer changed her mind about giving Steven up for adoption. Then, after looking at the papers, her parents say it's not Jennifer's signature, and they dig out her passport to show Cragen the signatures and to compare them. I personally think it's weird that they kept the passport for 12 years.
Yeah.
I mean, I get the whole, like, not wanting to get rid of anything of your child's, but, like, her passport?
It could have been one of those things where, like, stuck in a drawer, don't think about it.
Yeah.
you know. Eh.
Cragen and Alex go back to Rikers to talk deal with Sanford. Alex says that once the jury hears about his scam, they'll convict him of murder and kidnapping. Her deal is no jail time, but he makes restitution to all the defrauded couples and gives Cragen Steven.
It looks like a name, Craig and Steven.
It does. Sanford explains that the woman who gave him Steven had his original birth certificate. He didn't know until he saw Jennifer's picture in the paper. Cragen wants to know what family adopted him. Munch and Cragen arrive at the Blake's house. They talk to Mrs. Blake about her son, Tyler, who is Steven. Cragen takes a DNA test, says that a DNA test will confirm. Mrs. Blake asks if they have to take him. Cragen says that she can come with them. Tyler's been listening in the whole time and he's near tears. Tyler says he's not going. Mrs. Blake says she'll call his father and they'll all go together.
It sucks so much because
it does.
Like, legally makes sense, but then emotionally, like, the kid,
yeah,
you know, like, those are his parents.
yeah.
Ugh.
Cragen is talking to Cook, telling him that Tyler's his biological son, that the family who raised him did a good job, that he has a good life with a mother and a father. Cook then says, no, he's Tyler's father. He would never have abandoned him. My MS is really kicking my butt today, guys. Sorry. That's why I'm like slurring my words.
It's okay.
Cragen has to tell the Blakes that Tyler's adoption isn't legal because Cook didn't know and never signed over his parental rights. Alex says that since they need a judge to sort out custody and they can't get Tyler into a foster home until the morning, he'd have to spend the night at the Lake Street shelter. Cragen insists he goes to the grandparents, but the law doesn't automatically give grandparents rights. Cragen says to think of what's best for Tyler. Alex says she is, but everyone wants a piece of Tyler. And until they can get it sorted out, this is the best option.
Sucks.
It really does. The grandparents aren't happy. They think they're entitled to custody of Tyler because Jennifer was their only child. But if Cook claims his parental rights and is deemed fit, his rights supersede theirs. Now, let's just talk about this for 1 second. This annoys me.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, you're not entitled to your grandson just because your daughter was your only child.
Yeah.
Like, it's entitled boomer vibes.
Yes, and I do think, like, going to his grandparents would be the best option compared to having to go to a shelter or into foster care.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, this whole thing to me sucks in that I understand the rights of his biological parents, but I feel very strongly for his adopted parents.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, in my opinion, I think Tyler should have stayed with his adopted parents.
Me too.
Because they're his parents.
Yes.
But the idea of, like, the grandparents being like, well, we only had one kid and this was her child and that's why we deserve to have him is stupid to me.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Cragen and Tyler are taking a walk and Tyler asks what's going to happen to him. Cragen says he'll have to go to a temporary home until a judge decides. Tyler wants to go home with his parents, but Cragen explains he can't because the adoption wasn't legal. That he didn't want to take Tyler, but he had to because it's his job, but it's also his job to protect Tyler from anything bad. Cragen says that Tyler's grandparents want to meet him. Tyler and his grandparents meet. Tyler tells them not to cry. Alex offers to be Tyler's law guardian to fight for what he wants because he's old enough and mature enough to decide. Alex questions Wong about what living with his biological father could do to Tyler. Wong said it would be a sudden traumatic loss, which could result in behavioral problems and depression. He does not recommend that Tyler be placed with his birth father, but rather that he stay with the Blakes.
We love Wong.
Yes, we stand Wong. Alex questions Mrs. Blake, who says that she didn't know the adoption was illegal or that Jennifer Talmadge was killed. Now that they know, they're terrified to lose Tyler. Cook's attorney questions Mrs. Blake, and then Cook, who insists that he can raise the third child because he already has 2 kids.
And he's not like the worst.
No. Hold on. Here we go. Alex questions Cook next, asking how he would feel if he couldn't see his sons whenever he wanted. It turns out Cook's ex-wife, Linda, forged Jennifer's signature on the adoption papers. Linda lawyers up when Cragen asks her if she meant to kill Jennifer. The judge awards custody to Cook.
Which sucks.
It does.
I understand it from a legal standpoint, but
It still sucks.
And probably destroyed that kid's life for a while.
Yeah.
Because if he stayed with the Blakes, he would have had a more traditional, like, adopted kid life where he could still meet Cook and get to know him.
Yeah.
But live with his parents that he's known his whole life.
Exactly.
And it's not his fault that his adoption was illegal.
No.
So, like, I don't know. Irks me.
But to be fair, it's none of their faults. Where did my tarot cards go?
That was me earlier. I was like,
I had them and they disappeared. I don't know where they went. Oh, I found them.
Okay. Well, while Koli's getting set up for their tarot reading, I just wanted to remind you guys that we are on Instagram at SBU Coven. So if you're on social media and want to follow us over there, we would deeply appreciate it. And while you're there, you can click the link in our bio for all things SBU Coven. So merch, coffee, Discord, all of that fun stuff. We would love to grow the Coven over on Discord. It's an intimate and more personal way to get to hang out with us. And we would love it if you could join. It's completely free. No obligation, however.
No.
And if Discord and Instagram are not mediums that speak to you, we do have a Gmail, svucoven@gmail.com. Koli does check it regularly and share the messages with me. So if you want to get in touch with us, those are the 3 best ways to do it. If you want to be on the show, have questions for us, want to sponsor the show, anything like that, svucoven@gmail.com is your best bet.
Yeah. Okay. I picked my card.
Wahoo!
So we got the 4 of Cups. I don't know if you can see that.
It's like blurring out on the. Move it closer.
Hold on 1 second.
Zoom keeps blurring. There we go. 4 of Cups.
4 of Cups. So this means apathy, contemplation, and disconnection. So it kind of makes sense with this episode. Not necessarily the apathy part, but the disconnection and the
hang on 1 second.
Okay.
Pest control's here.
Oh.
So I think I have to go, actually.
Okay. I'll finish up.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is the card of like disconnection and contemplation, which is what we see a lot in this episode. Yeah. Uh and that's really all I have to say about that card. Um so this is another episodic reminder to rate, review, and subscribe, or comment, or rate, review, or comment, subscribe, or follow. Rating and subscribing are just really nice. They tell the algorithm that you like us and that you want to see more of us, and they will recommend us to other people. Reviewing or commenting is just really nice. We lost all of our reviews when we switched podcast hosts. We're holding steady at one. Yeah. And on that note, we did it. Blessed be. Where's the record button?